Happy week, guys. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Toy Grinds Live. My name is Grindhead Jim. Can't even say my own damn name right. Today is June 20th, 2023. Now, this is not going to take the format that you're accustomed to on our show. It's not. We're not going to be going over a myriad of pre-orders. There will be no overpriced statues in today's show. It's strictly going to be about the topic, except for one pre-order I briefly wanted to discuss. But I do thank you all for being here. I think we're going to have a good time talking about our topic today. And, yeah, Giant Head Jim, I mean, you're not far off, Johnny. I'm glad to see that Largo is getting some relief on the temperature there. It's 98 degrees Fahrenheit here, so we're getting some of that heat for sure. It promises to be 105 Fahrenheit by weekend. It's going to be insane. The Texas power grid is not happy, and neither am I. So, see a bunch of people in here. Obviously, Largo's Lair, Epic Badger. Nolan is here, I see. Johnny Sorensen, as mentioned. Jimmy Salzberg's working till 8. Ian Sweeney is here. Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures is here. Bill Wifta. Bjorn, Gojatron. And I think that's everybody. I think so. Daniel Carhuna is here. Welcome. So, I am going to go over one pre-order only. It went up today, and yes, I'm interested in it. This is a Transformers Core Class Hasbro Pulse exclusive, which I think is stupid that it's exclusive. It's the original Prime that they released. It's the original Bumblebee that they released. But they added Optimus's trailer, and there's an additional accessory, like axe accessory for his arm, which they didn't have before. At least I don't think they did. They're charging $40 for it. I think it's a bit highway robbery at that price, honestly. And someone brought it up, but I kind of feel like they released a Bumblebee. In fact, I have 2 of them, and I have an Optimus Prime. All I want is the trailer. If you charge me $25 for the trailer, I'd be a happy guy. But instead, I gotta eat the whole $40 to get this set. Now, that said, that's how it affects me. I do think this is a good idea in as much as Bumblebee is a bit harder to get in the core class. Optimus is also a bit harder to get in core class these days. So I do feel like it's a good idea to have re-released this. I just wish, that they'd give us the option. Goji here is saying it's overpriced by at least 10 to 15. I thought so too, but think about it. Retail price on these cats is around 11, 12 bucks usually, like 10 to 12 bucks. So $22 just for the 2 figures, and then another. And there's enough plastic and doodads and doohickeys on that trailer to be worth 2 figures core class to me. I'd say it's overpriced by about $5 personally. However, I do think it would sell a lot better at $30 as opposed to 40. So I did pre-order it. I'm not super jazzed about the price. I'm not jazzed that we don't have other options, but it is a good reissue, and especially for those that maybe don't have a Bumblebee or don't have a Prime or both. For someone who has one or the other and not both, I think you're still getting something pretty good. It's something I didn't think we'd see. So again, I'm not gonna say I'm grateful to Hasbro for putting this out, but I am appreciative that it exists. I am getting it, and I reserve the right to complain if it sucks when it gets here. So that's the one pre-order. Another thing with pre-orders I want to talk about. Moving forward with this show, I'm not going to talk about a bunch of pre-orders I don't want. Sorry. I'm going to talk about pre-orders that I do want. Things that actually interest me, even if I don't want them. But I'm not going to talk about the stuff that I have no interest in. None at all. That means overpriced statues are going away. And that means weird things are probably going to go away. But I do want to leave more time on the show for discussions. I want to start bringing back guests for interviews and things like that. The format the show used to have. And that's really important to me. So I want to make that clear moving forward. So just know, starting next Monday, that's what you're going to see. Because it's been weighing on me that part of the reason that I haven't been doing deeper shows is because I've been it's like being at the starting line of a race, waiting to literally get into a place where I felt more comfortable doing those things. I am here, both physically up here and in here. So we're gonna get more robust, guys. We're gonna get a bit more robust moving forward. Okay. And let's see, I'm going to catch up with chat here before I get further down. Bill Wifta says he'd get this if he wasn't poor. Fair enough. Badger says, oh wow, my screen was stuck on the countdown. Must have refreshed. Missed the first minute. Sorry. So when really jazz, do I do jazz hands? No. I do not. Johnny Jordan says, Hasbro multi-pack anything. Transformers Legend Joe is always overpriced. They charge it for the empty space, in your opinion. I agree with that. I actually agree with that. One of the exceptions to that, the Spider-Man and Amazing Friends 3-pack, they charged at $75, which is right on target for that stuff. That was one of the weird ones. I was like, they should charge way more for this. They didn't. But I think the reason they didn't is because they had the molds for all those characters already. I don't know. Largo says, weird things out, weird people in, basically. Badger says, friends are the overpriced statues we met along the way. There you go. Sorensen says, can't wait for a Badger Jim episode. We can probably make that happen. No one says the display's looking pretty awesome. Thank you. It's a work in progress. Taking it slow so I can enjoy it along the way. No, you are never going away, Bill. Never going away. Were my cardboards here? Hey, John, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Steven is here. Good evening to yourself there, and Bjorn as well. So, the title of this show was about festivals, conventions, and shows, like gatherings of people and community. All right? So, I want to start by talking about my relationship with these kinds of things over the years and kind of how they've gotten us to where we are and some other stuff too. So, my first recollection of any show, convention of any kind was a car show in Hampton Roads, Virginia in the mid-'80s. And I have a button somewhere, like a badge for those of you that are in the UK. It was a picture taken of me in a faux bomber jacket. So this would have been after Top Gun came out. No bullshit. And I'm holding a stuffed Spuds MacKenzie on my shoulder. And this stuffed Spuds MacKenzie doll was bought for me at this show. The picture was taken at that show. And I also remember meeting RoboCop and getting his autograph. I sat in KITT from Knight Rider, and saw the A-Team van, and a bunch, the General Lee, a bunch of cars. And my dad was a big car guy, his whole life. And before I was born, he did drag racing and stuff like that. He had a bunch of trophies from drag racing and whatnot. So he knew his way around the vehicles, and I never saw him pay for an oil change once. He always did his own. And so for him, I think the car show was something he wanted to go to, but because I had a pulp culture, infusion, so to speak, it was something that would be easy for him to take me to, and maybe get me into cars, or at least we would just have some fun. And we did. We were there for a while. It was a lot of fun. And I remember it in flashes, but it was one of the best days my dad and I ever had. So that was my first one. And it wasn't really until, I would say, like the mid-90s, early to mid-90s, like 93, 94. Okay, so not quite mid-90s. I was still in high school. And this was in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. My parents had since moved and retired to the area. And this convention center for Monroeville Mall, or rather for Monroeville, was in the same plot that the Monroeville Mall was and still stands. And for those of you that are horror movie buffs or just film buffs in general, Monroeville Mall is where they filmed the original Dawn of the Dead. Okay, but this was a comic book show we were going to in, like, again, 93, 94. I want to say early 94. And I went there with a bunch of buddies. We were all aspiring to be in the comic book industry in some way. We were peddling art. We were peddling story ideas. We were meeting people. I got to meet John Byrne, which was really cool. And just had a blast. Like, met Todd Platt, a bunch of people. Stephen Platt, rather. And it was just a lot of fun. Bought a few books. Walked around. Marveled at everything. No pun intended. And it was like, okay. And we were to kind of turn loose on our own. It was just the three of us, and then we had someone pick us up. So basically, one person's parents dropped us off, and then another set of parents picked us up, kind of a thing. And we were there for just maybe 2-3 hours tops. We had a blast, and for a long time, those were the only two things I had to compare it to. Maybe a year or two later, I went to my first local rock metal show, and that was an eye-opener. Because I'd been to like arena shows in the past. I'd been to like small arena shows like Johnny Cash, Kool and the Gang, Beach Boys, Johnny Cash again. I might even saw like the Oak Ridge Boys as a kid. Saw Metallica and Guns N' Roses in '92 in a huge stadium. But when you go to your first club or local show, it really opens your eyes about how music communicates on that level, right? Because most of your big arena shows or your big coliseums or stadiums, it's fun, it's exciting, it's loud, but you don't necessarily feel a connection to the band playing it. When you go to a club show, there's a certain energy that pervades the crowd, where you feel a part of the show just as much as the band. And any band worth their salt will tell you, especially at a club gig, that the crowd really is half the show, because the energy you give to the band, they'll spit right back at you. If you have a shit crowd, you're going to have a shit show. Doesn't matter how hard you play. Doesn't matter how excited you are to play. It's not going to come across, even to the ones in the audience that are excited. But if the majority of the crowd is just not into it, you're not going to have a good time. So it's... and I learned that from the very first show that I went to, because it was as was very common in Western Pennsylvania at that time, it was a cross-genre show. You had like an industrial band, a punk band, a hardcore band, a death metal band, a pop punk band, and an indie rock band. even though all these things are things that I was into, like to see these types of music all kind of melded together was bizarre. It was great though. It was a lot of fun. And it wasn't long before I was participating in those shows on my own as a musician. And I always preferred the multi-genre shows to the, well, this is your metal show, right? Always, always. To this day, I think it's more fun because you have more variety. With any one genre, you can get too. It's too focused, and there's a fatigue level at that point, right? So unless your headlining act is something really, really, really special, by the time they get on stage, you're just exhausted of whatever it is, no matter how much you like it. But yeah, in the mid '90s that started, and a few, again, participating throughout the next few years, and went into the Marines, and during my time in the Marines, saw several club shows in Atlanta and Augusta. Absolutely adored it. Had a great time watching bands. Being a different kind of a vibe, and not knowing that I'd be getting back into playing music in not too long of a period of time, and that kind of just twisted out of control in a good way. To the point where we were playing, it seemed like every weekend, sometimes very far away, sometimes really close, always with different bands and different configurations, different vibes, different clubs. Chicago and that area is a great reputation for that. We played everywhere from a Mexican restaurant to an amphitheater to a full-on music theater to your standard clubs, and I mean everything you can think of. We played at. Back in the Western PA days, we played at a fucking pizza place. Whoever's gonna have you let you put a show on, right? And that's no matter how big your band gets. We were an internationally traded band, an internationally known band, and we were still playing small clubs and all this stuff. But I never lost the love for the smaller gigs. Like Largo here is saying, smaller venues always better than arena. Exactly, for sure. It's there's an energy there, and no one's saying he remembers his first underground punk show was crazy. Exactly. And I feel like that the experience of, again, the crowd and the music is better. And even with music, like Largo's saying, like it's definitely more about talking with people and meeting people than getting to know stuff about toys and buying stuff and all this stuff. Exactly. The show, whether it's a convention or a festival or just a club show, it's always more about the club and the experience that you have as opposed to what is supposed to be the main attraction, right? So then so I was in Cardiac for five-ish years. Left, moved to Iowa, do all this other stuff. And fast forward, at this point, my life's very different. At that point, I had a career I took pretty seriously with the technical stuff, the type of stuff I still do today. I'd had a lot of experience with making content, and I had friends surrounding that. But I had rediscovered my love of playing games. I started streaming. I started playing a game called Destiny, and that game, because it's a massively multiplayer online game, an MMO. The community builds up around it. You have experiences with people. It's no different than going to somebody's house for a barbecue, and remember that time that Dave fell over the cooler and the beer went everywhere. You have the same kinds of conversations about something that happened inside the game, and it really builds up over time. And so there's a convention. At least it was one called Guardian Con. It's now called the GCX. That's in Florida. And in 2017, me and several of my local friends decided to all go together and meet up with friends from all over the world to hang out and celebrate this game that we love so much. And I'll tell you, the convention was fun, but just like everyone else is saying in chat, meeting people, hanging out with people, breaking bread, and having an experience that was shared was by far the most important part. And this, for me, was my first taste of a modern style convention. Um, Fast forward to just a few short years later, I'm up here, Retropalooza's happening, and I've been to almost every single one that's been since I moved here. I've only missed one and a half. I say one and a half because I missed the one in Houston this year, and I missed half of it when I first got here. And again, the community, like the experience of meeting people, sharing stories, swapping jokes, beer, bread, what have you, really means a lot because there's a unifying aspect to these things. And I experienced that a lot with the larger music festivals when I was in Cardiac. There was these big music festivals that would take place over several days, and depending upon what kind of festival it was, you'd come into town, you'd either play that day or the day after. You'd have the day before, the day after to kind of hang out and do all that shit. My favorite one of which was a Central Illinois Metal Fest, which is basically a death metal convention because you in the front you have a bar, merch tables, hangout area. Go through the doors into the theater, and the whole floor up to a certain point is filled with merchandise tables, and you can meet the bands and stuff. And then just beyond that, without any barrier, is this big pit, and you have the show, and it always sounded amazing there. And although I loved listening to bands there, and I enjoyed the experience of playing as well, it really was about the hangout for me. But you did get to buy, memorabilia and things you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And they're very, very similar in that regard. And they always stuck with me. Always. Retropalooza, again, was very similar, and it made me feel more welcome, not only in the community, but in Texas. And, that brings me to the toy community. Okay? The seeds of me starting to get into toys was through the Retropalooza guys. Jay had this toy convention, or toy show, I should say, in January of 2020. And I went, hung out, bought a bunch of games, and I did get some toys. So behind me, you can't see them because they're on the floor. I have a NECA Freddy Krueger and a NECA Jason Voorhees that I bought. I also bought, if you squint, you can see like this yellow blob right here. That whole thing is a bunch of chibi Godzilla statuettes from Japan, which I got a really good deal on. I got a couple other things too. And I just was like, man, I should probably start looking into this stuff. And I thought about it. But then, finances took a dive because I was looking for work and everything. I didn't really think about it until about a year later. And about a year later, I was slowly leaning into it in the early part of 2021. And then a little thing called Iconicon happened. And leading up to Iconicon, I was binging a bunch of the big toy channels. So the biggest one being Retro Blasting as far as how much I was watching, Analog Toys and Toy Polloi. Really soaking in knowledge that I thought I had forgotten, learning stuff I'd never knew, rediscovering a fascination with toys, and really kind of thinking to myself after looking at eBay and some other things and talking to some friends, it really felt like this is something I might want to get into again. And again, this is 2 years ago, almost to the day that this fest started. And it was like 3 weeks leading up to Iconicon that I just binged and learned everything I could. so that I didn't feel like I didn't know what I was talking about at all going to this convention. But it did feel a little silly to not really own any toys, at least in my head. I didn't have a real collection at that point. I had Marvel Legends Stan Lee, the stuff I just mentioned, and maybe an Alien Xenomorph, which is over there. That was it. And it felt like I didn't feel like I belonged, but I really wanted to soak in everything that this thing had to offer. So that was me going in, and I went out of my way to engage with people, to have discussions in the chat, to ask questions, and to soak everything in. Speaking of, I'm going to catch up with chat, guys. Koji says, my experience with conventions, you'll have a much better time at smaller shows. The big shows, too many celebrities, not as much fun, too expensive, too many people. Generally, I would say that's true. I find Retropalooza is kind of the exception to that, where it's the right size, it's not too big, it's not too small. You get some celebrities, but you can move around, and it's a lot easier. It's good stuff. I think you'd really like it. Bjorn saying, even if he hadn't gotten anything at Joe Fest, he would have had a good time. Badger said, going to Salt Lake Fan X. Very cool. Medium-sized, good celebrity meetups, but it's not crowded. Lots of hiking trails nearby. There you go. There you go. And yes, Ozzy, you did meet me at CIM 2007. I have footage of you from then, and in 2008, and in 2010. Fenrir Fire, welcome to the show, says, Sci-Fi Valley Con was a couple weekends ago in Pennsylvania. Great con. Always held the first couple weeks of June. Nice. 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 Okay. Will says we can have a toy convention in my room. I mean, maybe. Maybe. Badger says I only go to one con per year, so I tend to spend more on hotel food and experiences. There you go. Exactly. And I think with Retropalooza, there's an accessibility aspect to it as well, because I'm pretty well taken care of when I'm able to go. It is a very, very nice fringe benefit to being part of the Chasers crew. So there you go. Exactly, Bill. That's a good transition. So during Iconicon, I made the decision to pull the trigger on my first vintage figures, which was a vintage, Superpowers Lex Luthor and a vintage Superpowers Steppenwolf that I got from Reclaimers Vintage, and because I felt very confident buying from him based upon his reputation, and I've done some transactions with him since, and it's always been perfect. And whenever I can, I like to buy stuff from him because I know I'm getting top quality and he's going to take care of me. He's a good freaking dude, and if you don't subscribe to his Instagram or support his Patreon, you really should. That guy knows what he's doing with toys. And it was after Iconicon was over that I received them, for obvious reasons. But the bug bit in a big, big, bad way. Toy Connections is here. Hey, Ken. He says, nice setup. Thank you. This is temporary. I got to unbox everything and rearrange stuff, but I definitely wanted to have something as we continue to work on the display. And yes, Johnny, thank you for that. And his Epic Bullocks podcast. That's right. It's a good podcast for sure. But that Superpowers really bit the bug, and I hemmed and hawed, and Motu Origins was something I started to collect, and you guys know the story by now. But I want to say that more than any other factor, the Iconicon vibe and the community that surrounded that virtual convention were the factors that pushed me over the edge to start collecting toys, because I felt like I belonged, even though I didn't have a bunch of toys, and that I already had some friends, and that I could pull this off, which seemed like a weird qualification. Like I could do whatever the hell I want with my money, my time, and my space. But having that shared experience and having new friends and feeling like I've learned so much along the way, It really made me feel like this was something I should pursue. So I did. And I got really lucky because Iconicon coincided with me taking a promotion at work. And it was a promotion that I didn't have a ton of stuff to do during the day most days. A couple hours tops a day. And so I was able to watch the majority of Iconicon unimpeded. I didn't have to take vacation or anything. Iconicon 2021, however, no, 22, last year. That I took a whole week off of work for. I was committed to the whole damn thing. Slept as little as I possibly could. Was up for everything. Like there was like a little 4-hour break, and I'd sleep in that and get up and do the thing. Like I was dedicated to that shit, and I really enjoyed watching it. And I also had a lot of appreciation for how much work goes into something like that. And I appreciated what had occurred and what they were doing and how they were doing it. This was top shelf stuff. I really got a kick out of it. And like many of you, I was hoping that there would be another one this year. And there appears there's not going to be. They made an announcement over the weekend. That is not going to happen. Was very... I hate to say this, disappointing, because I do feel like we shouldn't expect it from them, you know. So I wasn't disappointed. It was just something that I understood. I would have loved to have seen the show. I don't feel like ripped off or anything because it's free. It's 100% free, totally cool, lots of fun, and to see that they weren't able to do it, it got me thinking a little bit. And speaking of thinking, let's see what you guys are thinking in the chat. Johnny says, cue the cannon move poster. Jim, over the edge. Oh, over the top with the hat. Hey, I turn this hat around, become somebody else, Mulvor says, I feel like a dang fool not going all the way. Getting superpowers 15, 20 years ago. The price... Oh, dude. Yeah, trust me. I go there, too. Even when I got this stuff in 2021, I was already feeling it. Trust me. Prices now are crazy. But says, watching you opening and starting Superpowers collections, how I found you began watching. I know. And there's still more to come. There's still stuff coming. Largo says, perhaps a combination meetup convention experience can be achieved with a bit of planning and not hostile takeover nearby Airbnb or motel. You never know. Johnny says, the Analog Toys interview brought him in. Okay, perfect. Ian Sweeney says, I was recommended to this channel by a channel I no longer follow. Well, I'm glad you're still here, Ian. That's for sure. Swiggles loves the Lemmy hat. So do I. So do I. It's good, it's good, it's good. So, take a swig of this. So here's the thing. It's not going to be an Iconicon this year. It sucks. I wish there was one. But in the absence of that, the fact of the matter is that the community vibe of going from show to show and having that shared experience. It was the best version of a convention feeling that I'd ever had. Because unlike an in-person convention, you can have a little posse of friends that is 10, 20, 30, 40 people deep or more amidst a bunch of strangers, and everyone just kind of goes from show to show and has a great time. And you guys probably remember that a lot of times when I've live streamed to be before or after someone else's show, not because I want the views, but because I just love hanging out with you guys. And over the last year, I think I've lost some of that because I've been focused on getting to this, right? So that realization combined with the fact that Iconocon's not happening this year, and given that I really want to get that feeling, I had a talk with a good friend of mine the other night. I'd had just enough beer to come up with an idea that is still brewing, I might add, the idea, not the beer. But sometime in the next 60 to 90 days, we are going to have a short weekend, typically like a Friday afternoon to Saturday, Sunday combination, of a lot of shows that are strung together. There might be some pre-recorded content, but there will definitely be a lot of panels. And it's not going to be exclusively on one channel or another. It will do a lot of channel hopping. And it's going to be not just about toys, but about community and collecting in general. So everything from, whether it's video games, physical media for film, music, vinyl, CDs, toys, all of it. Although it mostly be toys, because most of the people that I want to get involved also collect toys. That will be probably the biggest part of it, but all of those communities are going to be allowed to be involved. This is not meant to be a replacement or competitor to an Iconicon or even, say, Cobra Convergence. This is meant to be its own thing. I want this to be down and dirty. I want this to be the equivalent of a club show on a long timeline. Okay, I want people to get together and have discussions, break bread, having time to hang out and enjoy themselves. So as I'm moving towards this, I want anyone in the audience that is a content creator that I've worked with before or that I know personally, you're invited. And we'll talk about it. And I don't have a name for it yet. It probably will not have the word grind in the title. I have a title I'd like to use, but I'm not 100% sure on it yet, so I'm not going to announce anything with that. This is not meant to be an official announcement of the event because we haven't nailed down the date. There's a couple possible dates in our head. It's going to be... Again, I do not want this to be like, well, they're not having this, so we'll have this. However, it gave me the idea to do something for the community itself. So it's going to be less about... Because I don't expect anyone in a couple of weeks to come up with some kind of grand video that's going to be showing. I expect it to be more about panels and more about discussions, community hangouts, that sort of thing. So we are going to be doing this. The earliest would be mid-July. The latest would be mid-August at this point. And it would be a lot of fun, I hope, for just as an excuse for get everyone together and hang out in that long-form format so we can at least keep the spirit alive. Because I feel like I owe the community for taking me in, 2 years ago and continuing to support me all this time. And I would love to be a part of keeping that spirit of community alive, even if the thing that brought us together isn't necessarily happening this year. I hope it happens again. But I want to be clear, this is not meant to be some new, convention-style thing. This is about bringing community together in one way or another, having some fun panels and sharing tips and tricks and having a good time. So, I'm going to catch up with Chad again, let you guys kind of soak that in, that I'm even going to try this shit. Ken says, I'll never forget Iconicon 2021. Just passed over 100 subs. Was wondering if I was ever going to get to collaborate with anybody. Yeah. Ken's awesome. And certainly, as he's saying here, he's got TKO live stream support. Ken was the guy that I called. I wanted to see if I was stupid. And Ken's a good guy to bounce ideas off of. And I have a feeling that if it was a really stupid idea, he would have told me. And that's why I called him. And no one else. I've told nobody else except for Lauren. And it's something where I kind of figured, why the hell not? Why the hell not? It was a good idea to just to give people a chance to just to hang out on a larger scale in the same way that an Iconicon would provide. So really, that's what it is. It's kind of like, it's almost going to be the convention without the convention, even though we will have some formal panels and stuff. And as soon as I figure out exactly what that looks like, which will take me at least a few days to a week to, whatever, that's when I'll solidify a name, solidify my mainstay people, and we'll go from there. But it'll be good. It'll be good. I'm seeing a bunch of different name ideas. I'm not going to bring them up because I do not want the word grind in this at all. This is not about me at all. Although I like this, Necrozilla Chaticon Extreme to the max. I like that, but we're not going to use it. That'd be funny. Largo says August, September might be better for scheduling and networking internationally. I agree with that. I am thinking probably first to second weekend in August is probably going to be the one I want the most. Simply because it'll give us more time to think about it and figure out what we want to do. But in September is Retropalooza, and I want there to be enough of a buffer between the two because I'm going to be doing that too. So that's probably where it's going to fall. I just need to make sure that people can attend and help out and stuff. And Wilhelm's like, let's do it. Perfect. Awesome. Or McCover says, sound like a plan? Good to hear. So it's just important. Because the reason I look forward to all this stuff, whether it's in person or online, is because I get to hang out with folks like you. And I wanted to give that a chance. I also think about the after party of the first Iconicon, which is where the first time a lot of you saw my face and heard my voice. And it became an infectious thing. So I kind of feel like we're going to do something that kind of blends all the best of those things. You get to have those kinds of conversations that you're used to having, but I'm not going to be trying to bring in any celebrities, per se, that I don't already know, for example. Like, if I bring anyone famous in, it'll be somebody I know. But you'll see. It's going to be... I envision these roundtables about toy display and toy repair and some properties. Like we might have a Motu discussion, we might have a Marvel discussion, just the standard stuff. But I really want it to be about community topics. The things that when you're by yourself in your toy room and you're trying to figure out how to display something, or you're trying to find the best display for a rack of CDs or some Blu-rays or whatever. Things that if someone had told you before you started that process, it might have helped you, maybe saved you a couple bucks, made you have some more fun with your display, just to get ideas. So almost like a weekend-long brainstorm and Geek Fest about whatever it is you want to talk about. And I feel like it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, as long as they're in town, we're going to get at least one of them. And I'm sure Melvor will be able to hop in at some point. Not to speak for you, pal, but I'm sure you'd like to be in on it. And thank you, Ian. I am glad that you will be there, so we have at least one viewer. But when we're ready to actually move forward and say, here's the name, here's the schedule, here's the days we're doing it, here's some of the people we have coming in, we'll let you know. It shouldn't take long to do, but the reason I didn't come on the show yesterday is because I didn't think I'd be able to get through the show and not announce this. But I wanted to think about it more in my head before I had this discussion with you guys, okay? So I really appreciate you guys thinking about it. So those of you that are already content creators, if you want to be in, consider yourself in. I definitely want to get a hold of Joneser. I would love to see him do more, and he has a channel that's coming up. Even though this is not designed to grow other people's channels, it's a good opportunity to intermingle channels that don't intermingle that much. or just an excuse to hang out with the boys, right? Because when I do my show once a week, at the end of it, I'm kind of tired. And on the weekends, I'm usually tired from whatever I'm doing. I'm not able to watch other people's shows. So this becomes that excuse for content creators to hang out in a way. But for people that aren't content creators, there might be some conversation where we bring folks like that up, depending upon what we're doing. So it should be a lot of fun. I hope that we'll be able to see you there. I hope you have a lot of fun. And that's exactly a good point, Ken. Ken says we'll all grow anyway just through cross viewership. Exactly. That'll be nice, but it's not why we're doing this. We're not doing this to get the big eyeball on us. We're not doing this for monetary reasons, that's for sure. We just want to have some fun. And to keep that fire burning. Because I think that it's something that is just... I think it's the greatest part of doing something like this, is to have that sense of community, so we're going to do that. Looking at the time, I'll give you guys several minutes for any Q&A. If there are any, is any toy news or anything else you want to bring up, I'm more than happy to talk about that stuff. I'm certainly happy to answer any questions you might have or take any suggestions within reason. But we'll stay live for a few more minutes while we do that, and then we'll fuck off into the good night. Ian Sweet says, I can't cope with large groups of people or a lot of noise, so these get-togethers on these channels are what fuels toy interest. There you go. You know, Sorensen's right there behind you. I'm not a huge fan of it myself. I deal with it when I'm doing Retropalooza or whatever, but I always have to recharge a couple times a day and just get away from people. You guys might remember after Retropalooza last year, my voice was destroyed for like a week and a half. It's horrible. You have my axe. Wait. I like that. Any ideas for conversation starters or panel discussion topics? A ton. More than we probably need. I do feel like I want to talk about, for example, TV show soundtracks. Right? Like music that really got under your craw and the shows that we grew up on, the 70s and the 80s and even the 90s. I think it'll work. I definitely want to have a long discussion about Motu in general, because I don't do that often. Despite being a Motu guy, I don't talk about Motu that much. I want to talk about Transformers more now that I'm collecting them, and I feel like I have a bit more to offer in those conversations. I definitely want to get together with people, talk about G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, the old stuff and the new stuff. I really want to have those kind of discussions. So it's going to be a little selfish, some of the stuff that I pick, because I want to talk about the stuff that I'm collecting. And I want to get perspectives from people that also collect them, and maybe get some insight and other things from people I don't get to talk to that often. So that type of stuff. Definitely want to have some discussions around movies, and there's a ton of stuff that I want to cover. Ken says, actually had social anxiety at the end of the first day for Joe Fest. Yep. Senses were overloaded to understand what I was feeling. Yeah, that's a pain in the dick, man. It sucks. And I agree, Jonesra definitely has the tools and the chops. He will do great. And so will you, because I'd like for you to be there as much as you can, too. Ian Sweeney says, Wilhelm should helm a 3 3/4 inch panel. I agree. Goji should do a Godzilla one. I would agree with that. But Goji can do whatever he wants, and so can Wilhelm. Those are both good ideas, for sure. Badger says, I have so many miniatures I have to paint, so it'll be a good time to prime and paint minis while listening to online content. There you go. Falcro's here says, hey, Jim, just drop by really quick to say what's up while I'm at work. You take care. No, you take care. I love you, brother. Hope to see you soon. Ken does have some amazing Transformers videos. Yes, sir. I want to talk Transformers, bro, so I think you're in on that one. So that's awesome, Steve. I'm glad that you like the idea. And I hope that we achieve what we're setting out to do. That we make it about the people and not about the topics, per se. It's going to be a hard thing to balance, but we'll see. We will see. Because I am not calling this a convention. I'm calling it a community, like, get-together / show. Like, we're hanging out for people to see. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. If you would like to see world building or diorama discussion, I would love that. And I know just who I'd like to approach for that if he's interested. We'll see. Well, there you go. Maybe we have some stuff to talk about, Ken. Maybe we do. Kaiju comics, I'll just leave that there. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. Roman Cardboard loves the idea for soundtracks, TVs, and movies. Yep. Music topic, we can do that too. You need a discussion on Megalon. That would be a short one, but I could pull off about a half hour on Megalon. I could do that. Toy photography workshop. Yeah, that would be cool. Be good. Be really good. I will absolutely DM you after this over, Bill. Yeah, toy photos is definitely something that needs to happen. Diorama needs to happen. Display, which needs to happen too. I think those are three of them. Definitely need to happen. Omar Cobra says, tourist toy convention Retro Palooza where you met me. Oh. Latest was Joe Fest last week. It's good stuff. Okay, so I'm seeing lots of people really wanting the toy photography stuff. Good. There's a lot of good people in here. I know that Boba Hicks, while he's not here, he's an excellent toy photographer as well, and he's really personable to talk to, even though he doesn't create content. I think he'd be a shoe-in along with Largo and a few other people. So there you go. I think we definitely would do that. So I'm glad to see you guys are excited. I'm excited. Because even all that comes of this is some great conversations that we get to have. We can reference whenever we're thinking about a certain subject or just want to have a smile. Mission fucking accomplished, I figure. So, yes, Boba, Badger, and Largo. Now, I don't want to interrupt Badger's miniature painting time, but if he'd be willing to do it, I think he'd be a good one as well. So, that said, I see that you guys are salivating, and the fingers are starting to go, and the heads are starting to spin a little bit. Good. That was the whole reason I decided I want to announce this to you guys. So, Steven, consider that done. I think it's a great idea. And I certainly have stories, and I'm sure everyone else does too. So, it's a great idea. It's a great idea. So, all that said, I think this was a fun show. Went longer than I expected it to, but we certainly accomplished what I set out to do today, which is let you know, hey, we're taking things in a different direction, and we're going to have a couple days in later this summer where we celebrate the community and all of you. So thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for your support and your enthusiasm. And we'll see you very, very soon. May all your card backs be straight. May all your grinds be merry. May you be able to find anything you're looking for at any given time at a price you feel is reasonable, even if it's free. Take care, guys. Love you.